only did Oktoberfest help out Cleaners Food Bank, but they also brought people to Lake Orion and exposed Canterbury Village as the gem it truly is. Reporting from the Ferris wheel, I'm Kayla Brandon for ONTV News. So we're back safely on the ground, and I wanted to give you a closer look at what this plane is really made of. It's made of metal, which, if you can believe it or not, planes before this were made of fabric and wood. But this plane is as safe and reliable today as it was 85 years ago. Reporting at the Oakland International Airport, I'm Kayla Brandon for ONTV News. Citywide construction projects may look like the picture of prosperity, but experts say that too many of these workers are coming from outside the district, and that means less job opportunities for local residents. If the U.S. Senate confirms B. Todd Jones, it would be the first time in 7 years that ATF would have a confirmed director. Because of sequestration, the National Park Service has to cut 10% of its budget, and they say that means everything from monuments here to parks across the country will suffer. If Congress doesn't act soon, interest rates on loans for college students could increase anywhere from 3.4% to nearly 7% for incoming students. Two elements are joining together tonight at the Fire and Ice Festival in Rochester. The fire, as you can see behind me, the beautiful fireworks in the sky, and the ice is the beautiful Michigan weather. Lawrence noted that while the design might fade a little over time, the colors hold up after repeated washing. But when applied to the skin, the effect is temporary.
Welcome to the Avatar team.
I do feel like I'm an avatar. Am I an honorary member?
Yeah.
My initiation process?
Today, many air travelers take the luxury and technology of modern planes for granted. But 85 years ago, passengers who were lucky enough to get a seat on the Tin Goose thought the aircraft took luxury to new heights. Henry Ford saw the potential for mass air transportation and created this trimotor plane after World War I.
This particular airplane was built in August of 1929 and by the Eastern Air Transport that later became Eastern Airlines. As larger, faster, more efficient airplanes came along, this airplane was sold and went to Cuba to start Cubana Airlines, and from there went to the Dominican Republic, where it served to fly their chief executive around. It was their Air Force One. When it returned to the United States, it was a crop duster, a firefighter. It flew smoke jumpers out into the forest fire areas, and because the Ford Trimotor could land and take off in such a short distance, it could land at the mountain airstrips and bring the firefighters back out.
The plane was provided by EAA, a community of passionate flying enthusiasts. Passengers purchased a ticket, which helps keep the Ford Trimotor flying. The 15-minute ride traveled over Oakland County, and at one point you could even see the Motor City in the distance. With only 199 models of this kind in existence, and only a handful still up and running, this couple believes it's truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
I wanted to have a flight that, most people are never going to get to fly in a Ford Trimotor. So it was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, pretty much.
Would you do it again?
Oh, yeah.
Already did it again, so yeah.
How important is it for you personally to preserve the history of this plane?
Oh, it's extremely important. I'm a professional pilot and fly jets all over the world, and this is the roots that started aviation commercially.
The story of Michael and Gina Spain is one of loss, despair, hope, and renewal, but most of all, love. I got the chance to sit down with the Rochester couple and hear their incredible story.
He's all right.
Looking at Michael and Gina Spain, you wouldn't have guessed they found love in the midst of undoubtedly the darkest hour of their lives. It was Christmas Day in 2005 when Gina's husband Matt lost his 3-year battle with a rare form of cancer. Just 2 months later, Matt's childhood friend Kathy would suddenly pass away from brain cancer. Through comforting phone calls, family outings, and a shared sense of faith, God turned their mourning into dancing. Michael and Gina found love in the shadows of despair and married almost 2 years later.
We realized that before the two of us ever met, our lives had intersected more often than we could imagine.
The memoir of their lives, originally meant for their children, soon got picked up by a publisher. And it wasn't long before it became a New York Times bestseller. The couple created the New Day Foundation in 2007 to help families affected by cancer, with children under the age of 18, through financial and emotional support.
We saw an incredible need, and
Yeah.
Michael and I had been incredibly blessed during that time when we had our, dealing with our losses and our spouses being ill, and we had such an incredible support system. We wanted to provide that for people who didn't have it.
More than 150 families have benefited from the generous efforts of Michael, Gina, and their team. The Spain family proves that the loss of a loved one can be devastating. But if you keep your heart open, you could find love in the midst of tragedy. That's it for this edition of ONTV News. On behalf of the entire crew, I'm Kayla Brandon. Thanks for watching.